Peter was a spirited boy, full of restless curiosity and wild dreams that soared beyond the reach of his small village. Yet beneath his energy lived a quiet impatience that gnawed at him like a secret hunger. At school, while the teacher droned about numbers and grammar, his eyes drifted toward the window, where sunlight filtered through dancing leaves and the world beyond seemed to whisper promises of freedom and greatness. He fidgeted, sighed, and tapped his pencil until his teacher snapped, "Peter, what is it that distracts you?" And he mumbled, "I just think about growing up. I want to be free, to be someone important." The class giggled. The teacher frowned. Yet deep down, Peter meant it. Every day he longed for the future, the mysterious, shining place where everything would finally begin. When winter came, he wished for spring. When the flowers bloomed, he missed the snow. Happiness, for Peter, always seemed to live just around the next corner, never here, never now. One golden afternoon after school, restless and tired of the slow ticking of time, Peter wandered deeper into the forest than ever before. The world grew hushed as he followed the murmuring of a stream until the path opened into a moss-covered clearing. There he lay on the cool earth, watching clouds drift lazily overhead. The rustling leaves lulled him towards sleep, until a voice, sharp yet gentle, called his name. "Peter," he sat up with a start. "Who's there?" The air shimmered, and before him appeared a woman cloaked in silver light, her eyes deep with both kindness and warning. "Peter," she said again, "I have watched you. You are always running toward what's next, never at peace with what is. I wish time would move faster," he admitted, his voice trembling between awe and desire. She raised a hand, and from it appeared a glowing silver ball, fine threads coiled inside it like living light. "This," she said softly, "is your life thread. Each strand represents a moment of your life. Pull it and time will leap forward. But once pulled, it can never be put back. You will lose whatever lies between the moments you skip. Do you understand?" Peter's eyes shone with wonder. "You mean I could skip the boring parts? School, chores, waiting?" The woman nodded slowly. "Yes, but use this gift wisely, not recklessly." Peter reached out. The ball felt cool and alive in his palm, pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. "May I have it?" She hesitated, then said, "You may. But remember, Peter, those who rush through life may miss its meaning." Her words barely reached him before she faded like mist in sunlight, leaving him alone with the silver thread that hummed quietly in his hand. That night, Peter lay awake staring at the ceiling, his heart pounding with excitement. The thread glowed faintly on his bedside table, whispering temptation. The next day, as the teacher's voice droned on and the clock ticked lazily forward, Peter's impatience grew unbearable. Slipping his hand into his pocket, he touched the cool surface of the thread. "What if," he thought, "I just give it a tiny pull just to make school end sooner?" He tugged ever so slightly. The room blurred, colors swirling like paint in water, and suddenly the teacher's voice rang out, "All right, children, pack your things. School's over." Peter blinked in disbelief. Hours had vanished in an instant. Breathless, he ran outside into the golden afternoon, laughter bubbling up inside him. "It worked," he whispered. It really worked. In the days that followed, the temptation proved impossible to resist. When his mother asked him to help with chores, he tugged the thread to make them vanish. When it rained and he was bored indoors, he pulled again to make the skies clear. When the days before the village fair seemed endless, he pulled harder still, and the fair arrived. Months collapsed into moments, years into days. The more he used the thread, the more impatient he became with anything ordinary. Childhood blurred into youth, youth into manhood. His apprenticeship, which once felt eternal, was gone in a blink. One summer, he met a kind and gentle girl named Lisa, with eyes like sunlight on water and laughter that slowed the world when she smiled. For the first time, Peter hesitated before pulling the thread. He wanted to savor this feeling, but even love, he found, carried waiting. "Peter," Lisa said one evening as they walked along the riverbank, "you're always in a hurry. You talk of marriage, of houses, of futures, but we've only just begun. Can't we take time to know each other, to grow together? Peter smiled impatiently. Why wait? We could have it all now. I can make it happen. She frowned. If you rush the hard days, you'll lose the precious ones too. Don't tell me what to do, he snapped, though her words left a faint ache in his chest. That night he lay awake staring at the silver thread, gleaming softly on his shelf. Just one more pull, he whispered. Just to get to the good parts. Years vanished. He married Lisa, their wedding bells ringing in what felt like a dream. He pulled the thread again when their first child cried through sleepless nights. Again when money was tight. Again when he longed for success. Each tug made life smoother, faster, and emptier. Joy and sorrow alike slid past like scenery seen from a speeding train. When Peter's business prospered, he barely noticed. When his children learned to walk and speak, the moments passed too quickly to remember. Lisa's face grew lined with worry as she tried to slow him down. Peter, she pleaded, you're missing everything. Our children, our laughter, our life. It's all passing by, but Peter could no longer stop. The silver thread glowed hotter with every use, binding him with invisible urgency. I'll rest later, he said, when things calm down. But later never came. One morning Peter stood before the mirror, shaving as he always did. His hand trembled as he caught sight of his reflection. The hair around his temples had turned grey. Deep lines traced across his face, his eyes weary, unfamiliar. He stared in horror. How did this happen? The years had raced by like wind, and now he was an old man trapped in a body he hadn't earned one day at a time. The silver thread, once gleaming with promise, now hung dull and thin, nearly spent. That evening Peter sat alone on the porch, the house silent except for the ticking of a clock. Around him lay photographs, his son's first steps, birthdays, camping trips, family dinners, but each picture felt like a story he had never read. The faces smiled, yet the memories behind them were blank. He realized with a hollow ache that he had been a spectator speeding past his own life. How did this happen? He whispered. I wanted to skip the pain, but I skipped the joy too. His eyes filled with tears. Lisa's voice broke the silence. Peter? She stepped out, her hair silvered, her smile gentle but tired. Oh, John is so happy he's getting married next week, she said softly. He wants you there to help pick his tuxedo. Peter shook his head, his voice cracking. I can't even remember his first steps, Lisa. I wasn't there. Not really. She knelt beside him, touching his hand. You're being too harsh on yourself. We all carry regrets, but it's never too late to cherish the time we have now. That's what counts. I don't deserve your kindness, he whispered. Lisa smiled through tears. Of course you do. The life we had, the ups and downs, I wouldn't change a thing. I'd do it all over again with you by my side. Her words lingered in Peter's heart like a prayer. Do it all over again. That night, unable to sleep, Peter slipped out of bed and walked to the forest. The moon hung low and pale, the same forest that once whispered his name. The air was cool, the ground damp beneath his feet. When he reached the clearing, the silver ball seemed to grow heavy in his pocket, as though it knew he had come to return it. He fell to his knees and cried out, Please, I want to give it back. I don't want my life to rush past anymore. The air shimmered, and once again the silver-clad woman appeared, her face unchanged, though he had grown old. Peter, she said, you've come far. Did my gift bring you happiness? He shook his head. No, it made life empty. I thought I could escape pain, but I escaped joy as well. I missed laughter, love, and all the small things that make life worth living. The woman's eyes softened. Many chase time as if it were a prize, she said. But time is not a thing to own. It is a river to walk beside. Wisdom comes not from speed, but from presence. The colors of life are seen only by those who walk its path, step by step. Peter bowed his head, tears glistening on his cheeks. Please, he whispered, let me live again. But this time I want to feel everything, every joy and sorrow, every slow day. I will not rush again. The woman smiled, touched the silver thread, and it dissolved into light. Very well, Peter. Choose your next words carefully, for they will shape your tomorrow. Let me live my life over again, he said, but this time without the magic thread. She nodded. So be it. The world flashed white, then silence, then the sound of birds outside a window. "Wake up, Peter," a gentle voice said. "You'll be late for school." His eyes flew open. Sunlight streamed into his childhood room. The familiar smell of porridge and the hum of morning filled the air. His mother's young face beamed down at him. "Mom," he whispered, sitting up in wonder. "Is it really you?" She laughed. "Of course, you
True
strange little
happiness
man.
lives
Now get
not
up.
in
Lisa's
racing to the
downstairs.
future, but in embracing
Lisa.
the present.
"Yes," his mother teased. "Your friend who always makes you late." Overcome with emotion, Peter hugged her tightly. "I love you, Mom. Thank you for everything." She smiled, surprised but warm. "Oh, my baby, I love you too. Now go on." Peter dressed quickly and bounded downstairs, the world around him bright and full of color. The wooden floor creaked beneath his feet. Sunlight painted the table golden. Outside, Lisa stood waiting, her schoolbooks in her arms, her laughter ringing through the morning air. "Peter, you're so late," she called. He grinned. "That's okay. We'll make it." They walked together along the forest path, and for the first time, Peter noticed the dewdrops on leaves, the smell of pine, the soft rhythm of their footsteps in the dirt. "Do you think," Lisa asked, "we'll always be this happy?" Peter smiled, his heart light. "If we live each moment fully, yes. The future will come soon enough." And as they walked beneath the morning sun, Peter felt the weight of time lift, replaced by something greater: gratitude. From that day onward, he made a silent promise to notice the world's beauty, to listen when others spoke, to laugh without rushing, to love without hurrying, and to greet each moment as a gift. Years would still pass, some joyful, some painful, but Peter lived them all, step by step, savoring the taste of life in its fullness. And though he would grow older again, this time he would remember every laugh, every tear, every touch. For true happiness, he finally understood, is not found in racing toward tomorrow, but in walking slowly through today, with patience, gratitude, and love. And so Peter lived, not in haste but in harmony, learning that time's real magic was never in the thread he pulled, but in the moments he learned to hold.